Just a couple more.
Mm-hmm.
From your life as an entrepreneur and an organizer of community, what one lesson or one piece of advice would you like to share with anyone who might see this?
Don't listen to the naysayers. I think that's the strongest piece of advice I can give anyone. Because people seem to thrive on doom and gloom rather than prosperity. And it's never as bad as it seems. It really isn't. I think we're a perfect example of that. We're selling a luxury item in today's economy, and we're busy.
Great. And, I like to tell folks, and I have been telling folks around the country that, I think the two strongest growth markets in this country are local and green.
Mm-hmm.
People want those things. I actually decided just randomly right now to ask you a very brief bonus question, which is, what made you, as a very busy individual, which I know, decide that you wanted to engage in this movement? Why did you want to get involved?
Well, there again, it goes back to community. I believe in community, and I'm not a very smart individual.
Stop.
I'm not. I'm very practical, but to a large degree, I saw this coming, and I've seen it coming for years and years. It doesn't take a great mind to see something like this coming. It goes back to NAFTA, even, and things of that nature. NAFTA, and I'm sickened to say it happened under a Democratic presidency.
Okay.
But, to a large degree, we've had a very open relationship with Canada.
You're coming from...
Trade flowed freely between the two countries.
Yeah.
We have similar economies and things like that. So NAFTA really didn't affect our relationship with Canada so much as it did with Mexico. And the idea was, and I can still remember this, in the paper, NAFTA was going to be great for the United States. All the poor-paying jobs that Americans didn't want were going to flow into Mexico, which would open up the economy to these high-paying, great jobs for the general American public. Well, where is that today? Okay? And that's just the tip of the iceberg with all our other jobs leaving the country. All manufacturing being produced overseas. It's almost impossible to go to a retail outlet today and buy something that's been mass-produced that has not been made overseas. And the economy today, other than a financial situation, the economy today is a result of that. We need to bring things back to the United States. We need to bring things back locally. People say that the United States can't be competitive. Well, I consider myself a frugal person. Not a cheap person, a frugal person. When I buy something for value. I want value for my dollar. And that's not always the cheapest thing, and it's not always the most expensive thing. If you want cheap junk that you don't expect to last, then yes, you buy on price and price only. But if you want something, if you're going to purchase something that you want to last, the United States is extremely competitive in that. If you want to buy a shirt that you want the buttons to be on straight, that you want the stitching to be done right, that you want to last a few years, you're going to pay more for that. You are. And it will be made in the United States. But if you want to buy a shirt that you only want to last half a season, yes, the United States can't be competitive in that because we can't produce junk. We can't.
You know what's so amazing about this project and the journey is I'm hearing from you something that I think it was Danny Cottrell that I told you about, the pharmacist from Alabama. You know, he said it in a very different way, with a very different affect, by the way, in that slow southern drawl that I love. And he said, sometimes when you look for the lowest price, it ends up being very costly in the long run, you know?
And the thing of it is people in the United States expect to buy junk. So when they're comparing pricing, they look at, if you take a shirt, for example, and you're looking at a $9 shirt versus a $29 shirt, they see them as equal in quality, okay? Because they expect it only to last a few weeks or a season. But if it's produced in the United States and it's produced of quality, that shirt will last for years to come. You know, it's not a throwaway. You know, today you buy something and you take it out of the box, no matter, and it's made overseas, there's 90% of the time, there's something not quite right with it. I swear to God, when I buy something, I get frustrated opening it up because you see something and there's a nick here, or there's a scratch there, or there's a part missing, or it doesn't operate just quite right, or it only lasts 30 days.
Remind me if I ever sell you anything to make sure it's of highest quality.
Okay.